Hi, Steam. All right, day 5. Actually doing this in the day today. My coworker just left, so I can kind of take a few minutes to talk to you guys. I know yesterday was just a wild tangent, but sometimes you need those. You know, you need to get that little thing that's been picking at the back of your brain out, so that the rest of the stuff you want to talk about comes out. So today we're going to go over motivation's a motherfucker. Are you creating a network that works for you? Basically using people in a positive way, the right way, not a malicious way. Is your intuition fucking you over? Basically, you know, like, is the thing in the back of your head or, you know, in the front of your head telling you to do something, is it really doing it for you? Is it out of fear? Stuff like that. You know, for me personally, I stopped drinking almost 2 years ago, and I know for some people out there, just having that discussion of like, okay, well, I quit drinking. I got all this time on my hands. I got all this money on my hands. You know, kind of giving some insight of what you can do next. This is not just about drinking, you know, any negative habit that you possibly have. That'll help you do that. And finally, I stock my replies more than I stock my wallet on Steam. All right, let's get into it. Okay, motivation is a motherfucker. Motivation is, you know, like I said, yesterday I couldn't think about what the fuck I wanted to talk about. And then thankfully I have, you know, I have a very variety of YouTube videos and, you know, forums and websites and conversations with people. And you know, and you find motivation in the weirdest places, you know. And for me, yesterday, I found, well, I mean, I follow Hug Nation. If you are a burner, you already know who I'm talking about, Halcyon. If you're not, it's, you know, it is a very burner-oriented video channel, but it's an awesome video channel altogether because there's a lot of positivities there. There's a lot of alternate thinking, you know, exercises you can do there. And it, you know, it's basically motivated me to go off on my little tangent yesterday, which was very much needed, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and put the video that I watched that helped me kind of push myself forward down below in the description, you know, after this video, so you guys can check that out. And you know, Halcyon, if you see this, you know, thanks, appreciate it. You know, keep up the good work. All right, are you creating a network that works for you? Using people the right way. Now, I don't necessarily enjoy the term using people, but the reality of it is we are just as much tools for success and failures as a car, as a hammer, as a blueprint, as everything to that factoid. And I mean, it's true. Like, people are good at things. Like, we are naturally intuitive to certain capabilities. I'm very good at being able to talk to people most of the time, unless I, for some reason, am having some weird low self-esteem issue and I just don't want to talk to people, or I just hate people at that time of time. But I mean, but that, for me, that is a, you know, that is something that other people can use. I have a large network because I'm able to talk to people and understand, hopefully for the most part, understand where they're coming from. And you know, I've worked a lot of jobs, so I have a lot of different varied skill sets, but the main portion of that skill set is people. Like, my skill set is people. That's where my network comes from. You know, if my friend calls up and says, hey, I need a lawyer, for a family practice lawyer for something, here's so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so in your area, you know, they're good people, let them know I, you know, sent them your way. If you know, hey, I need a mechanic, boom, I got a guy for it. You know, basically I use the old terms of I got a guy for everything. I really do. I mean, it's not just guys. I do have, you know, girls also. I'm not trying to single out anything in that terms, but it's like I have a person for everything usually. So when you're looking at creating your network, and if you haven't already created your network, or if you're looking at your network and you're realizing that some of the people in your network are no longer useful, they're no longer helping you achieve the goals that you need to achieve, they're no longer, you know, they're no longer being reliable for the people and the money that you're sending their way, possibly, and you know, you need to reevaluate where you're coming from. Now, with obviously with technology today, and you know, forums and Reddit and Facebook and Steam and YouTube and Discord and all these various ways for us to connect, we might not be properly evaluating our network. Like, I have the people that I follow on Steam, right? But I have a larger following than the people I follow. It's because for a lot of times it's like, are these the people that are beneficial for the network that I need to create? Do I read somebody's article that, you know, brings some sort of insight? Cool, put them on your network, talk to them, send them. You know, you can't really message people too often and on Steam. I mean, you can through the chats and stuff like that. But like, you can get a hold of people. You know, and I recently saw a post about people that are like, "Hey, I'm going." You know, a gentleman who wanted to change. Like, he basically wanted to change his life. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm going to go do it. This is how I'm going to go do it. If there's anybody that's on the way between here and here, let me know." And like, for that purpose, he was able to create a network for himself that was effective. Now, obviously, using people in a negative manner, like, you're just an asshole. Like, you know, you don't need to trick people into doing things. You don't need to pressure them into stuff. You don't need to be the psychopathic CEO that Forbes and everybody else constantly, you know, like, if you want to be the best and the bottom line, you have to. You don't. You just have to. I mean, you can, sure, be that person, you know, and just like most things, you'll be found out and pitchforks will be thrown at you and life will be changed and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, evaluate what your network is for. Do you have different networks for different things? Do you have, you know, a crypto network for people that you talk to constantly on Discord? Do you have, you know, your family? Your family's a network. Do you have friends? Do you have friends all over the world? Have you met people through, you know, for me, I met people through Magic. I've met people through traveling. I've met people, you know, just random, you know, in random situations, just doing whatever. And I've kept those people in my friends list. I've talked to those people recently, you know, kept up with their lives and stuff like that. And now if I go to various countries, I don't have to pay for a fucking hotel. I don't have to pay for a hostel. And while I'm in those countries, I might meet somebody from other countries and so forth and so on. So there's a good way to look at your future and your network and how to benefit what's good for you. All right, is your intuition fucking you over? Now, this is, you know, I thought about this yesterday, and it actually came to heed last night while I was trying to sleep, which my intuition was stay up and stock the market, which was bad. I should have gone to sleep. But I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about, like, you know, shorting their losses. You know, they were like $5,000 of the loss and of what everything's going in, and they were gonna, you know, they wanted to do it, and everybody's like, you know, hold. And even I'm a hold and double down kind of guy. But they were like, well, you know, my intuition's telling me to do this, when you're arguing with somebody or you're discussing with somebody, and they keep repeating the same statement, it's not. They've already made up their mind. Right, their intuition is telling them to do this one thing, and they're already going through that route. So you're kind of wasting your breath in that aspect. But you have to kind of look at it as, like, is it your fear? You know, fear is an intuition. Like, we use it as a survival technique. Hey, don't try to fight a fucking T-Rex with your bare fist. You're gonna die. Fear. You learn, right? Don't date the same chick or guy who cheated on you 9 times. You learn through negative aspects, but your intuition could also fuck you over. You know, if you short a stock and it goes back up, or if you short a crypto and it goes back up and it doubles up and it stays that way, you just ate a shit ton of money. If your intuition is to start a bar fight with a guy fucking 3 times your size, your intuition is definitely fucking you over. You're probably also drunk. So every once in a while, you know, take a step back, breathe, look, and double check your own thoughts and feelings. Now, for the most part, I live and breathe off my intuition. It's gotten me out of shit that should probably put me in jail and put me 6 feet under and some other dumb stuff. So I'm a very pro intuition person, but I also do double check and make sure that I'm not overstepping certain things or missing a certain situation that I need to look at. All right, stop drinking or stop bad habits that you've stopped or you're currently looking to stop, and now you're fucking bored, right? Like, that was my biggest thing. I quit drinking. I had all this time on my hands. I had all this money, and I was fucking bored. I had nothing to do. So for me, I went and, you know, I started doing Krav, which was a hobby of mine that I wanted to take up. You know, I've always fought, and I stopped for a few years and wanted to take that back up. I traveled more, I did a lot of stuff, so it's the boringness is gonna be there. Those bad habits that you spent so much time and so much energy feeding and being a part of your life, and you finally get rid of them and you feel like there's this hole there and your skin doesn't seem to like fit the same way. Kind of think about it in the terms of like you're 6 again and the world just came to you. You can, but instead of being 6, you can drive, you can fly, you can go to other countries, you can go meet other people, you can take hobbies that you didn't get to take as a kid. Maybe you take a painting class, go do the art walks, go take free cooking classes in your area, do stuff like that, because that's gonna reinforce your positive habits by filling those holes of your negative habits with new things. That's why a lot of people that were addicts and stuff, they hit the gym, they become very physical because they change their addiction from something that is destroying their bodies or destroying their mental health or destroying them emotionally to, I guess if you're a gym rat for 90 hours a week, you're still kind of destroying your body, but you change your addiction. You can own your addiction and move it to what works best for you. All right, I'm getting close to my usual time. I stock my replies more than I stock my wallet. I really do. I go in my wallet, I'm like, cool, yeah, whatever. There might be money there might not be. There might be Steam power or whatever. But like my replies, I'm constantly re-clicking on my replies because I want to be as social as I can with you guys, and I want to make you feel as comfortable as you possibly need to be to have those conversations. Hey, I don't agree with this. I agree with that. What do you think about this? Like eat, sex, pray, or eat, pray, sex. I know her personally, so she's always on my stuff replying, and some other people do reply, but like it goes back to what I was saying about like, go onto other people's accounts and reply to them and make that, because that makes you feel like you connected. It makes you feel like the time you spent writing or doing these videos or singing is more appreciated. Yeah, money's great, but money comes and goes. Money always comes and goes. You'll always find fucking money. If you look hard enough and you're good enough at something you need to do, money will fucking show up. But that human connection, that feeling of belonging and understanding and caring that comes with just a simple hey, or that hatred that you get from somebody who's like, I don't fucking like the way you look. Like, can't really do much about it. I mean, I can go get plastic surgery, but I don't want to. So yeah, if you have comments, if you have questions, if you have suggestions, if you want to go into more conversation pieces and stuff, if you want to do a Discord call, if you want to do a Skype call, whatever, like, let me know. I'm down. I'm always down to talk to people. I'm a fucking jabber. Anyway, if you like these videos, if you feel like they're helpful, cool, re-steam them. That'd be awesome. If you upvote them, awesome. Obviously reply, even better. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.